Hi, good morning, folks. In this self service AI ML capability, we'll be talking about real estate. So, the first thing which everybody needs to understand is you have to have your CSV file ready to identify what type of slippages you would be looking for. Uh, as I said in a lot of my videos, that slippages are not visible on a naked eye. Okay, so we it is literally impossible for humans to figure out where the slippages could be. So first thing is to understand the capability of machine learning through WGS intelligence. The first thing which needs to get done is to prepare the CSV file for the area of your interest. As I say, it can be any area. It can be, say, we are talking about real estate now, right? So it could be real estate could have multiple subject areas, right? So, and different subject areas are supported by different types of application. So, we don't care about what is the application. As such, we will not know also. But what we recognize is a CSV file. So you have to be prepared with your CSV file, and once your CSV file is ready, you take a look at that CSV file. Okay, so let me see if I can bring that CSV file here so that we understand what we are looking at. Just 1 minute. There you go. I had a CSV file which is basically looking into slippages for real estate. So this is, I think, this every system will do that, right? So it's nothing like too difficult for anybody to understand that how to generate a CSV file. Any system, any software will generate CSV file for you, and you need to know how you generate that CSV file. You store it locally in your machine. You are not putting it into any server. You put it locally into your machine, and then later on you just point it. You drag and drop it when you start your analysis, and you take it from there. So here, when you're looking into this real estate thing, you have record ID, property ID. Obviously, it's something to do with real estate. Then you have unit ID, tenant ID, property type, transaction date, scenario type, lease start date, lease end date, month rent in dollar, rent due in dollar, rent collected in USD, last date payment, occupancy rate percentage, maintenance budget USD, maintenance actual USD, project budget USD, project actual USD, property budget USD, property tax actual USD, uh, utility budget USD, utility actual USD, CAM charge bill USD. I'm not very sure. I'm reading the line item on top. CAM charges expected USD, estimated loss, and that's about it, right? So we have a couple of them. We will not know it, right? Human beings cannot figure out what is going on here. Everything looks good. An ETL engineer might look into spaces and whether it is trimmed correctly and all those things so that the report doesn't get rejected, or people who are storing data into cloud or any platform, they will make sure that the data looks good and clean in a sense that it has no space, it's trimmed correctly, and all those type of things. That's what a ETL engineer will do. But here we are looking into operational data without a clue as to what is expected from here. So that's the first point I wanted to highlight. So we are looking into CSV dataset. We don't know exactly from where what this dataset is actually telling us. We'll figure it out later. And what are the issues with this dataset, right? So we don't know that. We'll take a look at it later on. So now, having said that, you will typically go back again to this page and get a free scan. But what I'm trying to focus here is you can probably run it through the URL which you are getting here. Or if you are having a project which you need to run on a continuous basis to figure out all the slippages in your organization, talk to me. Because if it could be a use case where you could have a separate URL, and that URL will basically take you to your package. We have to build package for you then. And once you have your package ready, you go to that particular URL and run it. Right now, in this case, I'm pointing you to World Group Solutions self-service. And over there, you are getting a button where you're looking into free scan. But going forward, you might have your own area where you would be going into. So basically, your URL could be different, your package could be different, everything could be different. So if that's what you're looking for, please discuss it. But for the general ones, like the one which you're looking here is, you can use this type of a scan here. Get one free scan. So you click on that. And once you get into that, it'll take you to a scanner, universal scanner. We call it as an universal scanner. And once you get to universal scanner, this is my email address, but you should be using your email address. Let me see. Why am I not able to copy it? Let me copy it and paste it. There you go. As soon as I copy and paste my email, the system recognizes that I am an administrator. It will ask me slightly different question as an administrator. So don't worry about it. You as a user will be asked a certain type of questions which you need to answer at the time when you're authenticating yourself with the system. Do as what they ask, right? So in my case, I've given a pin. So I'm typing in the pin. As soon as I put the pin in, it will let me in. So there you go. So now here we come into an area where we can drop the CSV file which we were talking about. So the point I'm trying to make here is this is not a rocket science. We keep doing this every day. Right? We have different types of CSVs. We just load it and run it. So this is exactly what you will be also doing. You'll be connecting into CSV files. And let me see if I can. You should remember where is your CSV file. So basically, I think I kept it under here, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, this is my real estate CSV file, and I open that. So as soon as I open the CSV file, you notice what happened. The AI triggered, and when it triggered, it figured out that yes, I am looking into the real estate file which I'm talking about. Okay, uh, these are not invented. These are basically the solid CSV file which you are working on, right? And it has found two cases from that CSV file which we were looking at. Case number one, it is looking into transaction date, lease start date, lease end date, and month end date. So it's looking into these few columns, and it's coming to a conclusion that period over period trend drift. But when you look into the data, let me see if I can bring up the data here. When you look into the data, there's no way you can make out what it is telling you versus what it's trying to get to. Say, for example, but yes, you can make sure that it is looking into transaction date. It is also looking as lease start date, which is probably this one. It is looking at lease end date, which is this date. And it is finally looking at month rent date, month rent USD. So these are the columns it is looking at, and based on that, it could figure out that there are issues here, and the issues are uh, to do with period over period trend drifting. So we'll probably see it found something. We'll have to look at it. The point I'm trying to make here is that when you're looking into this CSV file, it doesn't look like any problem there, right? It's a completely a CSV file. So this is exactly what I'm trying to uh, express my views for executives, because those who are new, with especially with machine learning capabilities, they will find it little weird because we don't do this, because machine learning is very new, right? So we have trained the model. The model is fully trained, and it is able to find out if issues are within that model. Humans cannot catch it. This is the point I'm trying to emphasize a lot. It's not possible for humans to figure it out. Now, if you take a look at the second one, let me see if I can make it a little smaller here. I'm not sure. Let me try this. Yeah. So now, if you look into the next one, it's looking into numeric outliner and anomaly screening. So it is looking into something which we have to figure out what it is. But going forward, it is looking into a lot of columns, and it's also figuring out the industry benchmark. Okay, it should be in that range, zero point 0.5 to 1.5 percentage range, right? So people who are in real estate, they will probably understand what it is, but people like me may not understand because this is not my area of expertise, right? So you have to be an expert in your area, in your business, to figure out what this machine learning is trying to tell you. So there must be some error, outline error, which has a tolerance level of zero point 0.5 to 1.5%. But if it exceeds that, it will raise a flag. So it is looking into so many columns for you to look into it. We humans cannot do it. So it's very difficult. It's literally impossible for humans to look into it and see what the problem is. So now let me minimize this and I see if I can bring this back. So now, having said that, now assuming that you have decided to look into these two data, at least this data set with both the issues which it has found as a possible leakage, you want to do a deep dive. Now, in my case, it will not ask any question because I am an administrator. But in your case, as soon as you choose the two, you can clear and select both. You can select the two. As soon as you start running it, in your case, the payment gateway will trigger, and the payment gateway will probably ask you to put your email address. Make sure you don't make this mistake. You have to use the same email address as you used here when you were registering. 5 minutes back, I showed you that should be identical to your Stripe. We use Stripe as a payment gateway. So as soon as you trigger that, Stripe will take that information, make a note of these two data points or leakages which you are concentrating on, and prepare a payment path for you, payment process for you with $49 for each case study. But for now it is 49, but in the near future it will change. But I'm trying to give a heavy promotion on this so that people start using it. But it is a promotional price. So now once you select those two, you get an invoice of 49 times 2, which will be around $98. You pay for that, and as soon as you pay for it, it will ask you, oh, you need to put a PDF. I'll try to see if I can show you the PDF because this is important. When you click on the two, for in my case, I'm doing it as an administrator, but I'll try to show you if I could. Let me see. It's analyzing. The machine learning has triggered. It's analyzing all these columns and it is coming out with leakages. So this is what humans cannot do, and this is why you are paying. Okay, to be very honest, you are paying. If even if you bring in any humans to who are experts, they will not be able to do that. So now you have, since that you have agreed to pay, you are using machine learning. You're analyzing it, and within few minutes, within a minute or so, you'll probably get the output of it. Okay, so you there you go. You get an output of it, and let's see what it says. So, but prior to that, before I forget, when you say I want to download this report PDF, at this point you will get a report number. It will be showing up on your download PDF. The reason being is when you're looking into a PDF at this level, there may be a scenario. Hold on, maybe this is not the one. One second. Let me see. No, this is sorry. This is for the general downloading this particular portion of it. Here you will not get the download because it's already downloaded. As I told you, I'm an administrator, so my workflow is slightly different from yours. But you will get to see download PDF before you come here. That means in the previous state, right? Okay, so if you go back, I don't know again where it will take me, but let's see. Uh, I'm not very sure. Let me see if I can show it to you. Because my flow is very different from yours. I think at this stage, if I'm not wrong, I'm not sure. I'll have to see it. So let me see if it is here at this stage. No, yeah, I think this is the one. I'm not sure. Okay, I think this is the one. Let me check it here. There you go. This was the one. I forgot. I went one step ahead. Now, at this point, you will be getting a report ID. Very, very important point for everybody who are normal users to use this report ID. Now, the scenario is that you might see that there are issues. In this case, there are only two issues. But you might come across scenarios where there are probably eight, nine issues, and you might need to sit down with your boss and your team and all those type of stuff to figure out which one to tackle. This is straightforward, but I wanted to let you know that you can use this report ID and come back later on to fill it up here at this point here. So when you click on this report continuation, let me see if it does that. Yeah, you have this report, and I'll try and see if I can bring in this report number. That means assuming that I'm coming back after a few days, you're not going to that button, right? You're not going to that button here. You have already done this. Now you're coming to the next step, which is report continuation. And when you go to report continuation, you're looking something like a report number being asked here. So all you do is you just put that report number, which I copied and pasted here, and you say look up. So when you look up, you'll see that there are two cases. Remember, there were two cases, and as I said, I am an administrator, so my views are different. But in your case, when you are using our AI deep dives and you have given your report number, it'll ask you. So now you have the choice, right? If you have decided that, okay, I'll only go for one. So you select that, go to the payment. That means you have decided you'll be looking into only one of it. Go to the payment, and I think it will let you go to the payment gateway. Just one second. But here we are. Oh, something went wrong. I'll try to look it again. Otherwise, I'll have to come back and see what the problem is. It is supposed to talk to. Uh, uh, s- yeah. So it is supposed to get to a connection with Stripe, but there is a problem here. So I'll probably have to figure out why Stripe is not working. So that part is important. I'll take a look at it. But in future, going forward, this is a good case study. If you have a problem and you're coming across these type of errors, take a screenshot and write to me so that I understand where the problem is. It seems like the problem is coming from Stripe and the payment is not going through. But having said that, once you run through this, if you come across into my area of work, which I'm looking into these uh, as an administrator, I will not have a problem because it won't ask me any question. So I'm looking into the two reports instead of two, I'm looking into one, as I just showed. As an administrator, I'm running it, I will not have a problem. So in case you come across a problem, please let me know. But I could tell that that problem is coming from the gateway of Stripe and our WGS intelligence. So as I logged in as an administrator, I didn't have a problem. And I can see it was to do with the real estate. The dataset contains columns like property ID and all, so it knows it is a real estate problem. The executive summary is also ready. The WGS intelligence report for real estate portfolio highlighted the key financial performance indicators and potential profit erosion risks. So you can go through it, and at the same time, as you know, you can download it and all those type of things and share it with your friends and all. But I'm not going into that detail because it is already 21 minutes of the video. So you go through this detail, and then it's telling you about the recommended step. Typically, try and follow that. WGS recommends a deep dive analysis into rent collection and cost variation trends for all identified properties and expense categories. Okay, so it is asking you to do deep dives. It has done the first round for you, but for you to be more safer with all your slippages, it's asking you to do further investigation and continue fixing it. So the first top one which we came across, as we selected only one of it, you prioritize the profit erosion risk visible in this data set. So unfavorable period over period rent trending. So this is a medium type of a scenario. The root cause was weak market demand, unaddressed property issues, and insufficient rent increase on lease renewals. What is the recommendation? Conduct a detailed analysis of monthly rent trend over a transaction date to identify any downward shifts, segments or property types and property IDs to pinpoint specific underperforming assets. So now you get into all the more detail of what it is all about. So it is giving you the evidences from where the slippages are happening, and you can go back to. If sometimes it will ask you to go to GL also for some lot of industry type of data which is looking at. It's asking you to look into GL, but here you can look into whatever data it's asking you to investigate. Benchmarking is National Association of Retailers, where you are looking into some benchmarking with the retail associations. And I think this is here, it is looking at rent ID in US dollar. This is date range and so on and so forth. So go into all the further details, look for it, okay, as to what is going wrong. You look into the methodology, what it is recommending. You get into visual intelligence. Right now, I think in previous examples, I was looking into a PDF, but now I'm looking into this report in the form of a dashboard. So I think I can bring it a little up. Yeah. So you'll get to see the visual intelligence of what it is all about. Uh, a leak risk score. There's so many things you're looking at it, right? Top numeric column totals. Where are the where the possibilities of these? The highest one looks like in this case is project actual and then project budget. So these are the data points which it is looking at. Um, it will give you um, a min and max and all those type of stuff, all the statistical information for you to look at. And then it is based on your data set is also looking into some stuff like KPIs. So this is a very important component for all uh, real estate folks to look into other type of KPIs which it identified. So you have to talk to me, and we have to train the model so that it exclusively for you, if you want. That is only if you want, for occupancy rate, rent collection rates, all those type of things. Like these are different types of KPIs which it is looking at, and maybe I'll have to build a separate package for all of these together. Possible. I'm saying it's possible. I'm not saying you have to do it, but here it already identified the leakages and problems there. So you should not ignore. That's the main thing. You should not ignore. Okay, so it's doing a complete health check for you through the AI. The second thing it is looking at is column mapping. You don't have to concentrate here because it is, as I said, we read those columns. It's doing that. Then you have also seen the source, which I have shown you on the CSV file. So it is looking at the same source. So I don't think you. It's just that it's looking in the form of a dashboard here inside the app. And then finally, it is also looking at the audit trail. So if you can look into the audit data as to what it looked at, estimated losses in USD. So these are big numbers. So you have to probably be very careful in making sure that you don't have leakage. Sometimes we get very happy that okay, our thing is done. These has to be done before month end. I mean, this is operational data. So if you're not doing it before the month end, typically I would say that uh, if you're scanning this, so the month end is what is the month end for June? You're talking about say month end is 30th. So you'll say you will be taking 3-4 days, right? Or 4 days. So latest by 23rd, you should run these type of reports so that if you come across issues, you can still tackle it. 24, 25, 26, tackle all the issues, bring it down. You cannot get all your losses to zero, that is not realistic, but bring down your losses as much as you can. And then finance will kick in to close the balance sheet, P&L, and so on and so forth. So the point here is instead of registering your loss to say 200,000, you are registering it to 20,000. As I say, you cannot make it to zero, but you can minimize the loss. So this is exactly where World Group Solution, our value proposition comes in. We can minimize your losses, but we cannot make it zero. But how do we minimize it? We have certain processes with intelligence. We can figure out where the problems are, and you have a start date to. You scan it here. It took only a less than a minute, but you start acting on it from 23rd, say the whole of this week and early next week. You can deploy somebody to look into the issues and solve it before it hits the P&L. So once you're there, you'll be basically very fine that you know that okay, instead of losing 49 million, you're probably losing 1 million, right? I'm just making up, but that's the scenario which you might be getting into. So it will give you a line item details of every problems you face in this report, and you should not ignore it. Okay, because a lot of people don't have this capability. With our research, it's almost like 2 years of research. We figured out all these things as to how we should be training our models, what we should do, and then this is the area you need to really concentrate later on. So for this, get in touch with me. You know how to get in touch with me. You can always get in touch with me, and then we will take it forward. Here is the contact, and you can always get in touch with me with your report, and we'll figure out what else can be done. So, having said that, I think I have covered up real estate expectation from WGS intelligence, and I hope you get in touch with me, and maybe we can take it further. But trust me, you'll be saving a lot of money, which you currently feel we are doing good, but actually there are a lot of things which needs to be fixed. We humans cannot see it. The naked eyes cannot figure it out. So I would strongly emphasize that you use machine learning capabilities from World Group Solutions to figure out what is going on and how you can solve the problems. Thank you for listening.